The Testaments Season 1, Episode 8 continues the damage done. Throughout the Testaments, we've focused on how the sons of Jacob twist the Bible's words. Blame is placed on the girls, which leads them not to speak up when they need to. The Testaments Season 1, Episode 8 brings that up once more, and it makes it clear that things are only going to get worse as this continues. Agnes isn't the only victim. I think we all knew it, but we needed someone to speak up. Finally, that happens on the Testaments Season 1, Episode 8. Huldah is quiet from the start of the hour, and it's while playing croquet that it all comes out. Agnes isn't the only one who has been violated by Becca's dad. Huldah has too, but Huldah can't hide it as well. I know many thought Huldah was up to something, but I've always viewed her as a naive character, and this episode proves it. It's clear that others have probably been violated and abused, too, but there's only so much that the girls can do. They can't exactly talk about it, as they're constantly told that they're to blame. Huldah even regurgitates that vomit as she tells Agnes everything, and it's not surprising considering the way they've been raised. The part that really angers me is how, when Huldah finally speaks up, Amidala is quick to say Huldah was mistaken. How are the girls supposed to be safe if even the aunts decide to protect the men? Then I'm reminded that this is how life really is. The blame is always put on women. We're called liars because we speak up, and when we don't speak up in time, we're looked down on for delaying things. The attacker always has the power, and that's the way it will be until something changes. The problem is that a storyline like this only matters to the people who already know that it's true. There are far too many who will say, that's not really the case, without taking a minute to learn. At least, when Agnes talks to Aunt Lydia about it, there is the hope of change. And no, up to this point, I don't believe Agnes is a ***T for sending Huldah into the lion's den, because her upbringing is to blame, not her. We know that Lydia tends to speak in riddles. She has something up her sleeve, and the voiceover of Agnes confirms that. It's just a shame that Agnes then decides to confide in Daisy. We know she's going to take matters into her own hands. The question is how. Is she going to kill Dr. Grove? Also, how will this interfere with Aunt Lydia's plans that she clearly wants to put in motion? At the same time, I find myself wondering about what Aunt Lydia will do about the Pearl girl taken by the eyes. There is definitely something bigger going on with Aunt Lydia, as the Testaments Season 1 Episode 6 hinted at, but I also believe the eyes know much more about Daisy's involvement with Mayday. They're too smart, and it's not like the other Pearl girl wouldn't have said something by now. Are the eyes seeing how much information they can get out of her, and is that why Weston wouldn't actually say a word to Aunt Lydia? Becca gets a choice, but it could ruin a friendship. It turns out that Becca got to choose her husband. That does make sense, considering the way her parents have raised her. They want her to be happy, and of course, she was going to choose Garth. There wasn't really another choice for her. What she doesn't know is that Garth is more likely to respect her because he doesn't believe in the Gilead way. She doesn't realize that Garth is Mayday, and now I find that ironic, considering we learned that his father needs around-the-clock medical care because of Mayday. I do have to question if this marriage will happen and what will happen afterward. Will that bring Becca into the Mayday arc? I would love to see her stand up for the rights of people like her. Having learned the darkness of Gilead, she is sure to want to fight for what's right. The problem is that Becca's choice could ruin a friendship. Agnes is in love with Garth. It's hard to tell how Garth feels, but he is older and shouldn't have those types of feelings just yet. Agnes' feelings make sense. She's a 16-year-old girl with hormones spiraling. Her love is more like lust, but she just doesn't realize it yet, and she's been made to feel like her fantasies and wants are wrong. Really, Becca and Agnes need to talk things out, but again, it all goes back to the problems with Gilead. The sons of Jacob don't want the women chatting. They don't really want friendships to form, as that could ruin everything for them. Before, we've seen how women were prevented from reading and how some of the topics they discussed were limited. Now we're seeing how they're being indoctrinated into this way of life, and it hurts my heart for them. Shunammite finally shows her fears. Throughout the Testament Season 1, we've seen how Shunammite can be a bit of a gossip. She's also jealous of her friends, but that jealousy runs much deeper. It's not that she feels left out, and it's got nothing to do with hatred for them. She is genuinely happy for her friends, but she is a scared girl. We get a moment of openness from her as she and Daisy bond. It all starts with the Greens heading to class to learn about the birds and the bees, so Shunammite and Daisy are left out on the sidelines together. As Daisy gets her period, Shunammite has a breakdown, but she doesn't rush off to tell the aunts anything. While she doesn't really like Daisy, she is growing fond of her. The two have a beautiful moment as Shunammite shares the reasons for her fear. There's a reminder of the angel flight from The Handmaid's Tale. I know there have been a lot of people speculating about who Daisy is, as she definitely isn't Nicole in the series. Well, those who thought she was someone on Angel Flight aren't right. She remembers Angel Flight, and Shunammite is old enough to recall it. Her brother was on it, and he's the reason she's so scared about not getting her period. She is her family's only hope at honor, because that's what getting a period is in Gilead. My heart continues to break for these girls, because this is how they're raised. They're only good enough for Gilead if they can bear children. I still want to know what will happen to Shunammite if she doesn't get her period, but for now, just seeing her open up to Daisy is enough. Also, seeing her protect Daisy's secret about getting her period shows how far her view of this Pearl girl has come. Shunammite tells Agnes, but that's it. Nobody else has to know, especially not the ants. That is for now. Eventually, the ants are sure to find out, and now I have to wonder what will happen when a Pearl girl gets her period. A lot went down in this episode, and we want to hear from you. What stood out to you during this hour of the Testaments? Where can you see the plots going? We love chatting with you about TV, so sound off in the comments below, and let's keep the entertainment alive.